Hello, welcome back to the channel. Right before I start this video, we're going to take a look at the charts. We're going to take a look at SOS, Riot, and Mara and seeing how their progress is going. A couple of them had a pullback, but SOS actually surprisingly kept its pump from after hours yesterday. So it is still looking pretty bullish. I'm going to go over some indicators and check with you and see some potential price targets and pullback price targets. All right, so if that interests you, like and subscribe right now, and let's get started. Okay, so before we get into all the miners right now, let's take a look at Bitcoin because we need to know where Bitcoin's going. Is it going to break all-time highs? Is it going to go sideways for longer? I mean, it does not have that much space left for sideways price action because it's still been on this continual trend line. So today we actually broke down from that trend line. We found support on it. Now the question is, are we going to go up and bounce up into our resistance here at around the $59,000 mark where we see this constant horizontal resistance here that we've been touching on for a couple of days now, actually the past couple of weeks. Are we going to see that breakout to the upside, resulting in our 74 to 75 $1,000 price range, or are we going to see it go down to the downside? So that is the main question. So if you want to see these Bitcoin miners actually pump, we're going to have to see Bitcoin pump as well. So we actually need to keep a heavy eye on Bitcoin, as you know. So price target is the $74,000 range. And then also, if it were to break down to the downside, it would be around here at the $42,000 range. So where we see this previous all-time high, it's actually having a lot of confluence right there. That could be a potential short if you would like right here. So we see previous resistance and then probably see previous support around here, previous support. So it's a critical area. But what we want to see form out in this symmetrical triangle is a bounce up, testing this, testing also the 49 price neckline, and then moving up here. So that's what we want to see with Bitcoin. If that happens, then all these Bitcoin miners are going to pump heavily. But let's take a look at them now. All right, let's get started with Mara right here. So Mara had a great pump these last couple of days, and now it actually has fallen quite a bit. So let's see what the potential price targets are. So far, we actually haven't gotten a retest of the symmetrical triangle, so I'm pretty sure that's what this wave is doing. It's going towards this this rebound box right here, this resistance box, which was resistance right here. It was also resistance right here, and also here. So this resistance box is pretty important, and if we can actually flip that support and we can actually bounce off of it, then that's a very bullish indicator because then we'll be creating a higher low and a higher high. So we need to look for Mara tomorrow rebounding either off this level or maybe wicking down to this level and coming back up, and then finding one of these areas of support here, of resistance, and turning into support. So that is what we're going to be looking for tomorrow. Also, let's check the fib retracements right here. So if we look here on the 4-hourly, our fib extension that we drew last week actually kept in play today. So, all right, now let's take a look at the Fibonacci extension that we actually have added here from Mara a couple days ago. So I measured it from the low to the high of this impulse wave back down to the end of the impulse, and it shows us these levels right here. So it actually did hold its support here at the 0.786 Fibonacci level. So it's holding support right here. It could break down to the downside, and look at that. Right below where it's breaking down is the golden pocket right here, right in this area. So that actually is very confluent with our whole pattern breakout because right where it breaks out, right where it lines up with this golden pocket is also a retest of this crucial trend line of this symmetrical triangle going through. So it is likely that we might come down here to the $43 range, test this golden pocket, and as you know, if you're testing a golden pocket and you're coming down into it, it's a very high likely chance that you're going to be bouncing back up into it. So we can find support here on the $46 and then move back up to the $50, and then we can come back and break all-time highs. So that is what we're going to be looking for from Mara. So let's do our fib retracement. We move it right here, come back up here. So we can also see here at the 0.5 mark, which is where you want to set up a buying opportunity here, retracing back here to the 0.5 mark until continuing further. So be prepared for the price to come down here to this golden pocket, retest. Also, it's in direct alignment with the golden pocket. So be prepared for the price tomorrow to come back down here, test this golden pocket, which is also the previous resistance of the symmetrical triangle right here. So it's very confluent right here. We have the golden pocket, we have that diagonal resistance, and also if I pull up the EMA ribbon, we have the EMA ribbon right here too. So it actually tested it perfectly on the 4 hours. So got a slight bounce off this EMA ribbon. Let's hope it holds, because if it breaks down to this this EMA ribbon, we can see it go all the way lower down here to a price target about $35, which is not a bad place to place some longs too. This is not financial advice, but yes. And then we can see a continuation come right here. All right, let's look at Riot now. So Riot still in this symmetrical triangle that I drew a couple days ago. We've been seeing it come from low, test this trend line, come back up, test this resistance, down, up. And since we didn't see Bitcoin pump, I was thinking that we were actually going to get a pump and breakout right here. But since Bitcoin dumped, where it looks like we're going to be testing this trend line here. So be prepared for Riot tomorrow to test the $45 trend line if we don't see a reverse from Bitcoin soon. And then from there, it can kind of zigzag in this area. If this symmetrical triangle were to break down, we would see a price target of, let's bring this down here. We would see a price target of $1.59. So obviously it's not going to go down that low. There's a bunch of resistances happening right here. If we can see, it can hit this resistance right here at $28, and then also this support right here at $18. So be prepared for a big move if it breaks down to the downside, but it's not going to go all the way down to $1. But if it's still breaking up to the upside the next couple days here, maybe next week, looking like we can still see that $99 price target. Apart from it bouncing off this trend line, we want to see a retest. We want to see a retest of this golden pocket, and then we can continue to go upwards. But not so much going on for Riot right now. It's still consolidating in this symmetrical pattern, the symmetrical triangle. So once we see an actual bounce off this trend line, it will be more bullish. But for right now, it's still under its 4-hour EMA ribbon. If we look right here, it just broke down its EMA ribbon. So it could continue to test 47 and then ultimately this $45 range before continuing to go to the upside. Okay, the moment of truth. SOS is right here. All right, so SOS still broke out of this symmetrical triangle. We haven't seen a retest just yet. If we look here on the 1 hourly, we can see it just inching up, coming towards this first level right here of resistance that we have. And that level of resistance has come from previous areas. As you can see, it's tested here, 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 and also here in this area. So critical resistance that we have going on, but it looks like we can break through it. So if we also take a look here at the EMA ribbon, we see that SOS price action actually came above this EMA ribbon. So if we see a retest of this EMA ribbon and a bounce off of it, that is also a very bullish indicator, because as we've seen before, flipping this EMA ribbon, you can see a nice huge pump. And then also finding it as support, another pump up to here. When we actually flipped it to the bearish side, right here, we had a bearish cross. We saw the EMA ribbon flip down, and then we saw this continual price action below the EMA ribbon as resistance here on the 1 hourly chart. You also can see here on the 4 hourly chart, same thing. So if we go back to the 4 hourly chart, take a look here. So on the 4 hourly chart, this EMA ribbon is actually being broken into. We're seeing some breakage to the upside, but on the 4 hourly, what we want to see is we want it to go on top of the EMA ribbon and then bounce up. Other than that, SOS is still looking pretty good. It's looking on track to see some potential gains still, because if it was still another pump and dump, we would have saw this dump already. everybody in SOS knows once it gets to a pretty high range, it just dumps immediately. So the fact that we didn't see that today, apart from all the other miners dumping, is pretty exciting. All right. So what we want to see for SOS tomorrow is we want to see a retest of this EMA ribbon as support, so we can go up. And this crucial level here at around $8 to $9, $8.50 to $9, is very critical for SOS to catapult up here to this next level, because this is a huge area of resistance right here, this resistance box. So once we break over that, and also it correlates to our W pattern right here. So we have our first part of the W creating this double bottom right here, a slightly higher low, coming up and then retesting this resistance box, which is also coincidentally the neckline. And once we can see that move go up, we can see new all-time highs. So this $8, $9 mark is very crucial. $8.37 to $9. Our resistance box plays the role as the neckline for this W, this double pattern right here. So once that is broken, we can see SOS going up and pumping up and continuing to pump. So be prepared for looking at the retest of the EMA ribbon towards the upside, and then breaking of this resistance box to go up even further. Let's take a look at the RSI as well. As we can see, RSI bounced off here towards the bottom part of this support, going up towards the upside. So as you can see, it's not oversold or overbought. It still has plenty of room to grow. If it continues to the upside, just be mindful about the EMA ribbon, and then finding support on these levels at the $7 mark and the $8.37 to $9 mark for this neckline. Now, one last thing I want to point out too is a fib retracement, which we can look at during this last move towards the downside. Let's see. Let's get it from the top to the bottom. So yeah, so we also see here, we see that resistance coming right here from this line. And then we also see our golden pocket right around here, right around the $7 mark. And we see our 1 Fibonacci level at the same place where our neckline is for our W pattern. So our $8.85 mark. So this is looking out to be very critical resistance here. So if SOS can break this resistance, we can see a move up to the $12, the $13, and the $16 range in the next coming weeks. All right, so that is it for this video. If you enjoyed my content, you found it informative, hit the like and subscribe button. I'm going to be doing these daily videos. I'm going to post one out tomorrow. I'm also going to be posting a video on some altcoins, because there's been a lot of gains to be made in the altcoin season. When Bitcoin trades sideways, altcoins rise. So I'm going to be looking at a lot of different altcoins, seeing which ones have a lot of potential for the upside. And if you have any questions on specific altcoins you want me to take a look at, leave them down in the comments below and I'll take a look at them. That is it for this video. Peace out.